This week, no theme. We've got no theme because I keep putting people on the spot with that thing. And although it does get some really nice conversations going, we might generate a theme. Let's generate a theme during the conversation. Oh, you know what? First thing I want to talk about is Don, who is around somewhere. Don, you did exactly what I asked you to do, which is incredibly good. And you are the 3D whiz, printer whiz.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, well, we have decided you are our 3D printer whiz. So talk us through it and tell us what to expect, because I understand you've got some ideas.
So I was on the show last week, and Sid asked me to set up something so he can kind of watch, and everybody can watch the 3D printers, 3D printer, and see how it's all done. Now, it's a really cool hobby. If you're mechanically inclined, it's pretty easy. For those who are not, it's a little harder, but pretty much anybody can learn and do their own thing. And if you can get into CAD software, you can make your own stuff, or you can just download files from different web pages and enjoy the content. I have my printer set up, and as soon as I get done talking here, I'm going to go ahead and start it. I've got a couple items printing out on it that will take about an hour and a half to finish. And it'll print one item, then it'll go straight to the second item. They are appropriate for this meeting, I believe. So other than that, I'm going to give it back to you, Sid, and I'm going to go ahead and start.
Thank you, Don. That's a great introduction, and we look forward to seeing what comes out the other end. So, yeah, throw someone in the deep end, Mel.
All right, Hedar, I hope you've got your life jacket on, because you are up first.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm in England right now.
This is late where you are. How is everything around where you are?
Well, it's pretty stormy. There's a storm outside.
Yeah, I heard this like 2 in succession for the first time ever in Great Britain. And
Pretty
it's
cold.
And is it cold?
Yeah, it's cold. I'm wearing a jumper.
That's the worst. And where are you living? With family? With friends?
I'm too young to live alone.
I didn't know. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to try and guess. But you do seem rather young. So how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 17.
Oh, fantastic. What an exciting time in your life.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it will be, I promise you. It will be. There'll be all sorts of things on pages that you're about to turn over that are just going to be so exciting. What makes you say it's not exciting right now? Because of GCS, because of exams or school?
Yeah, I'm applying to university this year, so I'm pretty nervous.
And how are they doing it? Because I hear it's all gone very wrong.
It has gone very wrong, and I don't know how it's going to be done.
All right, let me explain for everybody who doesn't know what the British system is. Very briefly, what you're going through. Because of COVID, normally all the students sit nationwide exams as they do in most countries in the world. And universities tell you before you sit the exams what kind of results they generally want, they expect from you. In my case, I had to sit 4 A-levels, which are just the so-called advanced level. It doesn't mean much. And they wanted, I don't know, 2 Bs or something like that, 2 B grades. And I got 2 Bs and a C, or 2 Bs and 2 Cs. I can't remember actually what I got. 4 A levels. And now this year, because of COVID, you are not sitting the exams, and instead you are being invigilated, they're assessed by your teachers who are...
I think that was for the year that's going into university in September. I'm going next September.
Okay, right. So you're going to have to sit these exams.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Did you have mock exams this year?
Yes, I did. And I already got my predicted grades.
What are you studying? Because in England we specialize. By the time we're 14, we start to specialize. We don't do all 9 subjects. We go to just 4. So what do you...
3. I do math, French, and economics.
It's fantastic. So you want to be like a poet?
I think I'm going to do a politics, philosophy, and economics course.
What's excited you about politics?
Star Trek.
That's really great. That's really fantastic. And so what do you see yourself doing with that combination of stuff? Because in French too, because I'm sure you speak French. What is it that you want to, where is your little idea right now? Because it can always change.
I really don't know. the farthest I've thought is what course I'm doing. I don't know beyond that.
That's pretty great. And what course do you think you're going to do?
Politics, philosophy, and economics.
Of course, you did say that, and it went straight through one ear and out the other. That's a really good combination of subjects, by the way. That is really interesting, especially because you've got throwing a lot of philosophy in there. That's a really wonderful combination. So how has this 4 months been? What's life been like?
It's been hard because we have to teach ourselves the course because we're not in school.
You don't have any remote schooling and no one's on the other end of the computer helping you?
The teachers are trying their best, but it's really hard compared to actually being in school.
Yeah, and you're just too old for parents to really help because it's, I mean, you know, it's unless your parents are very good at these particular subjects, it's very hard to help teach those sort of sophisticated subjects like that by parents who generally, if I'm any example to go by, I don't remember anything I learned at school at all. So, do your parents try and help? Are they trying to get you sort of some kind of motivational help?
Yeah, my dad helps me a lot with math. He's really good at it.
Oh, well, that's handy. That's really terrific. And so, when did you turn 17? Did you turn during COVID?
Yeah, in June.
Oh no! So you didn't have any kind of fun time during that really important turning point.
Well, I did have some fun. I had an exam on my birthday.
Oh, well, hey, that's great. You actually like sitting exams?
No.
So it wasn't fun.
No. It wasn't.
And what is your dream of what you'd like to do when this lifts? What do you miss most in your life?
See my friends.
Yeah. And so next year you leave, then you're going to go to which college are you planning on? Do you have a plan? Which university?
We can apply to 5 universities in England.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones yet.
No, it's not something you have to know yet. And you'll get lots of help finding out which ones you want to get involved in. When I did it, this is kind of, don't make the mistake I made. When I did it, I wanted to do geography and anthropology. Now, the forms you fill in have those few numbers in a letter for each and every course, and there are millions of courses. And I got one letter wrong on one of my courses to the University of Sussex. And I went along to the interview, because it was local to me. And so the lady was very nice, and she said, so you've signed up to do feminism and childcare? And I went,
oh no.
What? I've signed up to do feminism and child. It's a fascinating course, right, retroactively, but at that age I was like, no, I haven't. And I just busked my way through the interview because I didn't want to sound stupid, so I lied. I went, yeah, it interests me because, and this and this and this, and it was really terrible. So I ended up going to UCL and doing geography and anthropology, which I didn't really like. So I made a mistake. So think carefully about your choice. What do you think do you think that when about 2 years ago, are you still there, Hedar?
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, when you were dreaming of being an adult, which you're going to be next year, did you have any idea about what the world was like, or have any idea about what that transition might be?
Not at all. So this isn't very good.
And do you feel you have an idea now?
A little more, but I'm a little scared about going and living in dorms and university somewhere else.
Yeah, that's actually quite enjoyable, I have to tell you. That's not that bad. You kind of find a group of friends who are like you, and it's amazing because there's so many people. You will always find a group of friends that are like you. And then you kind of be a hermit, except with those friends, because there's thousands of people everywhere. That's the one thing that's amazing about college. It's just so many people. It's bewildering. But my boy is Django. Is 5 years older than you, and I'm worried that he has less opportunity because of what we're going through right now than he may have had we not had a COVID. But also just so badly handled everywhere. Everybody's screwed this one. And I wonder because there's going to be a recession, obviously, of some sort. So, you have to assume, because we're spending so much money getting out of trouble here, someone's going to have to pay. There's going
to be a lot of austerity coming
There will be a lot of austerity. That's exactly the right word. And as an economist, or potential economist. Do you already think in those terms? Are you already looking? Do you already look for those kind of signs and interest? Does that interest you? The financial direction?
Recently in June, the government debt was over 100% of the UK GDP, so that was fun.
Wow, yeah, that is going to be a problem. And what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, higher taxes, lower spending from the government.
You're an economist. I don't think that's going to happen in the States, but we're in the same. They're in the same pickle that England are in. But we're in the holes of trillions and trillions of dollars over here. And I'm really concerned for Django, and I'm really concerned for you. You're going to have to really find a strong subject and be good at it, and then really try and get to a master's level degree in order to get, because the master's level degrees are the ones that really stick now, especially in your subjects because they're so expert. You know, they really require really good knowledge. I'm really, really happy to talk to you. Thank you for having that, screwing up the courage to come and talk to me. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
All right, we're going to go over to Ryan.
Hi.
There he is.
Hello, Ryan.
Very nice to meet you. I'm a little super nervous because when I was young, you were absolutely my favorite character on the show.
Oh, that's very kind of tell me. So where are you?
I'm in a town called Lake Elmo, Minnesota. So where I'm about 25 minutes outside of Minneapolis. Right. I was working for a museum before the pandemic, really small museum, and we were we're in the ruins of like an old flour mill that had exploded well over 150 years ago and killed like 18 people. It was the first gold medal flour plant in the United States.
Wow.
And so we have this museum there, and it talks about how milling and farming and all these really kind of drew people to Minnesota, and how, you know, waves of immigration came, Swedish, Polish, Mexican people who were familiar with farming, and everybody kind of centered on that area. You know, even to this day, Minnesota is really checkered when it comes to like its racial history. Yeah. So this mill is right on the Mississippi River in the heart of the downtown. Yeah. And it's a beautiful view. But that was all sacred land, you know, for the Dakota 150 years ago. And they were all, you know, pushed off to make room, you know, for manifest destiny and all this kind of stuff.
Manifest destiny, right? You know?
And that's all hard, you know, and I don't think, and certainly not everybody who comes through, you know, the door of a place like a museum is racist, but I think it's hard for people to, you know, sometimes have the idea challenge and to embrace bringing on those kind of difficult concepts. You know, they're like, oh, we just came out for a day at the museum, and you're like, do you want to hear how we're the largest mass execution in history because we hanged 38 Dakota men in the state?
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's still to this day. Yeah, Crow, you're saying, yeah, history's heavy. And I think sometimes, you know, people don't get that. But I'm rambling. So that's
No, you're not rambling at all. It's really fascinating. Can you tell me why? First, I'm going to come back to the racism, which I'm fascinated by, mainly because of it's the thing that just refuses to die. It just keeps recurring. But how did the flour mill blow up?
So it's been through a couple of different crazy things. So I'm starting to forget dates now because we've been
Don't worry about dates.
For 5 months. Well, in 1878, basically what happened, all the flour dust in the air was so thick that workers of the time said, I can't see my hand in front of my face.
Right.
And when you have that much dust in the air, flour, corn, coal, whatever it is, it can catch fire because it's literally the spark can jump from one molecule to the other, and you just get a chain reaction. And the whole it was a massive explosion. It blew out windows in St. Paul, which is the next, because that's part of the Twin Cities, so the next city over, St. Paul. They had windows destroyed. 14 to 18 men, like I said, I'm forgetting numbers. They lost their lives, so they rebuilt in 1880. And then what happened was they closed the plant in 65, and the building kind of sat abandoned until 1991. It was often a frequent home for local squatters. And cold February of 1991, some of the restaurants just started a fire to stay warm, and that fire just burned out of control, and the whole place just went up. So our museum, the shell of the building remains, but everything inside collapsed.
Right.
So we basically, so it exploded, rebuilt, burned down. It's just had a very unlucky history when it comes to fire.
So tell me, you mentioned racism in your state, and clearly you're a bit embarrassed by it. Do you feel that there's momentum in the state now for actual change?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. My father, he was very kind of activist type in the 60s, but he's already a cancer survivor. So at the time, I didn't feel comfortable with going marching myself because I was just very worried about virus transmission, all these things. I still am, maybe a little less than then. But anyway, we drove down and we donated supplies. And we watched, the march. We saw the people marching through the city. And it was really powerful. I think there's a movement of people. I've got a lot of friends who went out. They shared. They've been sitting protests. But it's hard.
Who've never been out before were actually now mobilized.
Yeah.
People who never got out of their houses for this before are mobilized.
But what's kind of happens with these things that is another thing I don't know if people realize. On the news, it's like the rioters, the protesters, and it's an either or. There's so many levels of this.
Yeah.
There's protesters, peaceful protesters. There's people who riot, which while I might not agree with it, Dr. King said a riot's the language of the unheard. What are people not hearing?
Yeah.
So I have empathy, for people who feel like this is my only chance to be heard is to start a fire or break a window. So I might not judge that, but I'm not in that position. I have that privilege. So I'm not one to judge. And then people who don't care anything about the protest and they just want something free. I mean, there was a video of a Target store in St. Paul and the people were just running in and out. And I almost laughed. I saw a video of like a 40-year-old woman running out holding 2 desk lamps. And I was like, she doesn't care about the movement. She doesn't care about George Floyd. She wanted her desk lamps. And then you've got people, there was, now has been identified, a white supremacist who was caught on video back during the initial Floyd riots, breaking windows on an auto parts store.
I heard about it, yeah.
You heard about that? Yeah, and we all knew from the factory, like, something's weird about it. So they're trying to discredit the movement. So there's like 5 groups that happen when these marches happen, and everybody acts like it's one group, and it's like it's so much more layered than that.
Absolutely. Well, you're right, and thank you for sharing, because apart from anything else, a lot of the things you're saying are bang on the money, and it is more nuanced than just rioters and protesters. And I've seen it before in England, because obviously there've been race riots all over the world, and I've lived through at least 3 now. And 2 in the UK and 1 in America. They have all sorts of different dynamics and things kicking off, and all sorts of politics, and oozes out from the corpse of it once it's over. So they're very unpleasant, very sad. But I'm just hoping that maybe this one, some of it sticks. But thank you for getting on.
Thank you.
Give us some time.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks very much. Right back you at.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, we are going to go over to Poppy in China. She has some fun stuff to share with us. I'm going to let her introduce it.
Hey, still don't know. Feel still so excited and so nervous.
How are you? It's been a long time since we talked.
Yeah, fine. Quite well. The summer vacation's about to end, so I think the new semester will start next week.
You have a lot of work to do?
Yes, I have a lot of work, and I have classes on Wednesday morning this time, so maybe I will not have time to come to this session. I will try to come to Friday, Saturday, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Usually we don't have class on that time, but still.
My goodness.
I don't know whether it's happened to American fans or, those are from England or other places, but I can assure you every Chinese fans in this club attended the sessions, so we know each other. And
Good. That's great.
Anybody wonder why?
I don't know why. I love it that you know each other.
Yeah, we usually connect on social media, and then we will arrange some offline meetings, because I think those meetings, when they're quite popular, I was in Florida, so I cannot attend most of them. But when I was back, and I attended one of them, which I'd like to share you. What's this gathering like? It's like a Comic-Con, just without all the stars, but it's our little con, and we gather from all over China together, and we do games, we chat, we have,
and everybody dresses up.
Yeah, dress up, and so that's one of the convention or event. Yeah, I attend.
That's such a heartwarming photo. There are that many people in China who are coming together because of this. This is so great. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think that's the one in Beijing, and they also did several. I think that there were other events in Shanghai, and sometimes I think in Wuhan. Okay, so this place is so famous now, because before this time, if I mention, nobody will know. And I attend the really small one in Guangzhou too. And when I check photos, I didn't even take photos. Gee, and the small one, I only take photos of the dishes we eat. That was really remember. Yeah, I went that one. But why don't I have photos of people? The only because Guangzhou is one of the cities very famous for its food. And yeah, I lived in Guangzhou for 7 years. That's why I can also speak Cantonese. So Cantonese, my dialect, English, and French. That's several languages.
So I've seen, we've got the one photo up. I haven't seen any food photos yet.
There's also a one we're eating hot pot. Just now you see on fan event there were several Niners. There's me, and there's Maggie, and there's others. And this costume, thanks to Maggie, who managed this. That's we have dinner, that's hot pot. And very interesting that most Chinese people can do this LLAP, live long and prosper, both hands, no problem. And I know sometimes in America people cannot do it. I just cannot understand why.
Yeah.
And so about the costume, and Maggie is so wonderful. When I find her, she's an undergraduate. She's like 12 or 13 years younger than me.
Right. Well,
and
they're wonderful costume maker.
Yeah, and no, I said, oh, let's do some Niners costumes. You can wear them together in Las Vegas, and Asian faces with Niners, that could make a thing. Yeah, that's true. And when Ira saw us in the hallway, she just jumped out. So I have to take photos with those ladies. And, yeah, it's the first time ever a celebrity asked to take a photo with me.
with the band.
It will never happen again.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and so what she did is like she want to make it like professional, and not like a hand sewing things. So he contact a factory making baseball uniforms and all the other uniforms. The problem is the factory said, well, we can make this for you, but we need to order of a whole team, not just 3 or 4 pieces.
Yeah.
And I was like, gee, we have to have a team. So we post the information, said I have to contact a factory. We need a team of Niners so we can
order. Where all guys come from? Okay.
Yeah, at first we don't even know whether this could be done because we have a lot of Star Trek fans, but I think most of them more like the alternative original series, the J.J. Abrams, movie universe.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I'm really not
Cool,
sure
good stuff.
how many of them will be DS9 fans, but in the end, we have 15 people. So
Great.
yeah, we did it. The whole baseball team. I think the factory will be so confused because when we print the numbers, there will be the same numbers and their different names, and there will be like there's 4 Bashir. Mine is Bashir, of course, and there's like a 3 Kira. There's a 1 Quark. There's 1 Odo, 2 Garak. I think one of them is Elim. And and there's also 1 Dukat. That's so weird.
That's really good.
I think it will be fun if the whole team will get together one day. Okay.
Oh, that.
Yes, that's me drawing an enterprise. I'm so amateur. I had never been trained.
Actually, no, that is rather beautiful, Poppy. That's rather beautiful. It's really
this is hanging on my dining room now.
It's gorgeous colors and really interesting brushwork. Is it watercolor?
Yes, it's watercolor.
It's very hard to use. It's really, they're really accomplished.
Yeah, it's you can wash it out, so it's not oil painting.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, I mean, I only know that because I can see some of the shading. It's very good, and I'm sure other painters who are here would also say the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, gee, I'm such an amateur. There's so many professionals here. Yeah, and this is me. I don't know whether this is finished. I don't remember, but yeah, that's the one my parents asked me to draw, so we can hang on the living room. So because there's a big white wall there, so okay, I can do that. So I paint this.
That is absolutely gorgeous. I wish we could see it more closely, but the colors are phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, they are so autumnal, beautiful.
Thank you,
Poppy.
Thank you. And
you did that recently? You did that during COVID?
No, I did that like a year ago.
Wow. Well, it's recent, yeah.
Yes.
You're terrific. It's lovely talking to you again, Poppy. See you again very soon, I'm sure.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for your paintings and the photos.
Okay.
How are we doing on the 3D?
Well, let's take a look.
Oh, yeah. Stuff is happening there.
Ooh. Moving right along.
You're starting to be able to see what it is, at least the first piece anyway.
Fantastic. Okay, we'll come back to it. Give us shout to us when you want us to come back.
Oh, I'm letting you guys run the show. I'm just a guest.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hi, Sid. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. Thank you. Where are you?
I am in Markham, Ontario, Canada.
Oh my goodness, fantastic.
Yes.
That is great. And your name is, how do you like it? How does your mother say?
Kiranjit.
Kiranjit.
That's right. And
Great.
The short form is Kiran, and it tends to turn into Karen. So sometimes at work or school.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. My mother called me Siddig, and it tends to turn into Sid.
Mm-hmm. Everyone we all have like anglicized names. Even my dad, his name's Devinder. And when he came to Canada back in the 70s, it became Dave or David. Okay. So it's just the easier way to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. Are your family North Indian or South Indian?
North Indian. Punjab. So I'm Punjabi.
Fantastic. Yeah, yes. That would be in your name. The clue is in your name.
The Jeet, that's right. That's
exactly.
Right.
So do you live with your family? Are you living with your family now in Ontario?
Yeah, I actually just moved in with my husband because we got married. We had a COVID.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, he's waving.
Fantastic. How is COVID treating you guys?
Well, I work in a hospital, so I've been kind of in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
So.
And have you seen an improvement?
I have. I mean, we had a lot of patients admitted with COVID, so they were in the ICU or just medical floor.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we've had actually no patients in the ICU. So there was a big media thing. There was a celebration to say that our last patient from the ICU was discharged.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty wonderful.
Down, yeah. It overall, the cases and stuff have gone down, and we've seen patients coming in, but it's still busy. I mean, we have a COVID assessment center that's just always crammed.
Off the charts. Yeah. Because I understand that your government's is doing respectably well.
I believe so. Yeah. We're pretty proud.
Yeah, as you should be.
Really terrible, and we still have, the people that are deniers and the people who refuse to wear a mask.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I've had patients, because I work in Emerge, so we have like a lot of different kinds of people coming in and out. So I've had people tell me that I'm breathing in my own carbon dioxide. Like, you don't know what that's doing to you. You're gonna die. Whereas, we have surgeons who always are wearing masks in the OR, and they do it all day long. And so
all day.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been in the middle of everything, and I'm still healthy and safe.
Good. That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
It's scary though too, because they're going around and telling other people that same thing. So
yeah. And what was your experience of it what did you found? And obviously, were you married in March already?
We got married in May.
Beautiful. Congratulations again.
In my backyard. We had it was very small, and obviously Indian weddings are usually very big. Yeah. And so what our families were planning were really big.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that, we won't be able to, then we thought we weren't going to be able to do it. But then I applied for my marriage license well in advance. So we had that before everything shut down. Right. And so we thought, let's just figure this out. Let's do it. And we actually thought we would only be able to have 5 people at the wedding. So like the officiant, me, my husband, and then we can only have 2 other people there due to restrictions. So we thought, okay, we're going to want our moms there. And so he suggested, let's choose Mother's Day. So we ended up doing it on Mother's Day. And it was also the day after my birthday. So it was...
That's fantastic. I'm sorry that it was smaller than you deserve.
Well, we actually didn't want it to be that big anyway.
Okay, not the week-long thing.
So it was
because those things go on for a week. We
still did some of the pre-wedding stuff, obviously. And he's actually Hindu and I'm Sikh. So it was 2 different things, but we only did 1 ceremony. We did the Sikh ceremony, and we did that in the basement. We got everything everything came together perfectly at the last minute. So we did that, and then we had the officiant come to the house in the backyard, and it was great. It was really
That is beautiful. And tell people, because a lot of people won't know what Sikh is, the Sikh thing. Explain in a nutshell, just what the difference is, because no one, everybody just goes, but they're all Indian.
Yeah. Yeah, we have, so it's one of the youngest religions, actually. It was born out of, first, he just pulled up this picture.
Is that your wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, that's delightful. You guys, that's really beautiful. I love it. You look great, husband.
Thank you.
And you've got this. I know. I'm going to say you look beautiful, but your husband's right there in the room. You might have reached that hand straight through the thing. Thank you for showing that. You do look absolutely gorgeous, both of you.
And that was the color that I wanted as well. And my mom had gone to India last October. And so I couldn't go because of work and so forth, but I gave her a list of everything that I wanted, and she was able to get everything just perfectly. And,
that's great. So Sikhism is a young religion, and it comes out of Hinduism.
It comes out of the same kind of basic principles, but a lot of it's different. Basically, what the first guru had said, who came up with the religion, was that the caste system, he didn't want to have that. And everybody, that's why Singh, he wanted everyone not to have a caste system, because you can usually tell the caste by the last name, somebody's last name. So that's why he said that everyone should have the same last name. So Singh for men, and Kaur, because Kaur is like my middle name, but that would be for women. And that way, when you meet people, it's not about
you don't know anything about them.
Yeah, and everyone's the same, everyone's equal. But now it kind of evolved, so we still sort of do have a caste system, which kind of sucks. My parents and family, we don't really follow that, but a lot of people.
I think you know what it is. It's like the British and social snobbery, or the Americans, where it's all about how much money you have.
Right.
And It's sort of, there will always, you know, water always rolls downhill. There's always going to be a time, people are going to find reasons to not socialize with those people because they're gross and we're great. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. It's been really a pleasure meeting you, talking to you. I could talk a lot more. I'd love to know about everything. But I'm going to get someone else in.
For sure. Thank you so much.
We close down for the night, but thank you so much. And we have a 3D thing to look at that's been busy beavering away. We should go to 3D. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Kiran.
Thank you.
I kind of want to say it's a small world to find out that you guys have been in so many of the same places, but then that song will get stuck in everybody's head. Okay, done. I think you are done with your 2 things.
These have been made while we were speaking.
Yes, the second item, the comm badge, actually broke loose during the print, so I stopped it and put the test print down instead. So, and then of course the other coaster down that I did earlier to make sure everything was going to work well. But of course, as you know, some things always don't go according to plan. However,
they look great.
There they are.
They are fantastic. They're terrific. Okay, I'm sold on 3D printing.
Oh, it's great, Sid. I'm telling you, it's a way to be artistic. If you're not really that artistic, you can be with these. It takes a little time to learn, but I enjoy them so much. It's great. I love it.
What type of filament did you use for these?
That is done with PLA, which is basically a cornstarch filament. It just comes in a roll like weed eater string does, you know, trimmer string. It looks kind of like that. Comes in different colors. That one there is a silver, or actually, yes, that's silver metal. So it came out pretty good. A lot of things I print, it doesn't matter what color they are because I end up painting them, sanding them, and painting them. Some things, you know, you print with just the filament. You don't have to do anything depending on how well you've got your machine tuned and your setting.
Can you reach in and pick one up so we get an idea of scale? Oh, wow. That is terrific. They're really cool. That's really cool. That is such a success.
So we're ready to go.
For the 3D printing.
Yes, thank you, Don.
No problem.
Super cool.
So I'm Faith. This is baby Thomas. He's hiding down below the bottom of the screen for reasons. I've got a big brother over here. Next to us is Kyle. He's obsessed with Peppa Pig, so he's been doing that while we've been listening.
Oh yeah, Peppa Pig. Boom.
Yeah, he's 4 years old and not talking yet, but I'm convinced he's going to have a British accent when he does start talking.
Yeah, Django was a very late talker, and he just didn't want it. Didn't have to. Didn't want it. His brother, who's 3 years older than him, was like talking straight out of the womb. I mean, like chat, and couldn't shut him up. So it's, you know, so that's up to them, isn't it?
Kyle suffered a birth injury. So he has good reasons for not talking. We're in lots of therapies and things. So he's amazing for what they told us at birth. So
wow. Are you okay?
It's taken some therapy and having baby brother. The process of having baby brother has healed a lot of those wounds that I didn't think ever would. So that's been kind of amazing. And of course, doing it during COVID has been crazy and a half. But
wow, you're not kidding. I don't envy you that. To be honest, it's like wow. That's it
was very smooth compared to the first go round. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm actually thankful for the time to be home because we wouldn't have had this otherwise.
Yeah. Would normally one of you be out of the house?
Both of us, yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. So how would you do that with such a tiny one?
Well, we have Medicaid provides nursing for our oldest son. And then so we would just have had to figure out care for the baby.
You see,
our parents locally, so.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a little counterintuitive because most of the rest of the world have moved to a maternity leave model where mom stays at home for at least 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And yet here we're paying someone else to do the work that mom could do. It's like, wait a minute, why is this not right? I guess we're just not paying enough people. Okay, so this is a blessing in disguise then.
Oh, absolutely.
You get to have a proper maternity, and your significant other gets to have a proper paternity, or
Yes,
if that's how they identify. So what's been the biggest challenge with these two little squidgy ones?
mostly just Kyle's healthcare. He was actually born in South Korea. My husband's Korean.
Oh.
And so I was under contract when he was born, and so I finished my contract at a school there. I'm a second grade teacher.
Yeah.
And we picked up our whole lives when he was done, when we were done with the contract, and moved back to my hometown because we have a very good children's hospital here, and made sure that we could get him care and things.
Right. Does he require consistent care?
Yes. He because of his injury, he has cerebral palsy. Okay. And he can walk and, do things that a lot of children with CP can't. Right. But he can't swallow, which is kind of a weird focal point for that disease.
Yeah.
And so he drools all the time, and is very lovey and climbs on things, jumps on you. He's very affectionate, but can't eat, and you don't realize how much of a cultural thing it is just to be able to put something in your mouth.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how do you feed each other? I mean, you feed him?
He has a G-tube. So we feed him like a liquid formula 5 times a day.
And is that evolved? Does that change as he gets older, or is that basically where you're at right now?
The doctors, monitor what he's getting and adjust. But for now, until he can swallow enough to eat, he's on the formula.
Right. And do you think is it the formula special scientific formula, or can you make food and liquidize it?
We started with Pediasure, which is like Ensure for adults. It's the same.
I've seen it.
Yeah. And that's, it's formulated with everything that you need to grow. So it's amazing to look at how big he is. I'll see if I can get him.
Hi, mister.
Kyle, can you look this way? He's very into Peppa Pig.
He's huge. He's huge. Absolutely. Well, he looks fit and healthy, I have to say.
He's amazing. So
he looks bonny. He looks great. And so your husband's with you, and do you find that that's kind of been we talked, it's a blessing obviously with 2 kids to look after, especially one kid who's particularly needy. Mm-hmm. But has it changed the dynamic in the house in any way that's kind of interesting in a cool way? I've talked about it with some people in this.
Yes and no. I mean, we are still who we always were, but definitely the focus of our relationship is different. Yeah. Where we have to put the kids, I guess probably all parents do that. It's hard to say when he's our first too, but you put him first in
yes,
all
of course,
because his health and well-being has to be cared for. But I wanted to say thank you for all of your work in Deep Space Nine, and especially that episode where we find out that Bashir is genetically engineered. Bashir's mom's speech when she says, "No, you don't know what we went through." I'm like, after we had Kyle, I feel like that cuts my heart every time I hear it, because it's so true. Like, I didn't realize how much I would do for him, and how much a parent has to do for a child, and has to how much would I go through for him. And so I don't know if I would break the law, but
it's quite
but right up to.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife would put it like, I'd help that person bury a body. That would be like, oh my God, okay. But that's how much she loves her mom. Like, right, let's figure that out. And I always say, but you're a lawyer, you do know that. I'm just reminding you. She's like, oh yeah, okay, no, I didn't say that. But do you know what? I think that what you're doing, and the beautiful vibe that you have surrounding you, feel, I don't really believe in auras, but I totally believe in vibes, is testament to your courage. And that young child to your right could not have landed in a better nest, dropped by this particular stork. Very, very lucky to land with you, because you just, I mean, if, I'm a little
Well,
bit
we're
over.
so lucky to have him, and I'm so lucky. The hospital kind of suggested that he was going to be a difficult case, and might we want to let him go, and I just couldn't fathom making that choice, and I felt like we fight for him, period. And if God takes him from us, or the universe, however you believe, if it's not his time to be, then that's out of our hands, but we're going to fight.
Yeah. But the stuff in your hands, you're going to damn well do something with.
Right.
And absolutely. And I take my hat off to you. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you. Sometimes you meet people who are just like the embodiment of courage. And I think that you are doing spectacularly well on that front. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.